What's going on, everyone? It's time for a thriller film review. Today we're going to talk about Dahmer. Yeah, this one was released by MVD Visual, um, released June 21st, 2002. It stars Jeremy Renner and is produced by Larry Ratner and written and directed by David Jacobson, who did films like Dawn in the Valley, Tomorrow You've Gone, Deadly Run, and The Beat. This had a budget of just around $250,000, and it made only just over $148,000. So this is a pretty good flop. So this is the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer from Wisconsin, and this is like a biopic, basically, of his life, where he targeted like gays and stuff like that, and since he was, and slowly started taking people's lives. But this one is a little different. So Jeremy Renner does a really good job at playing Jeffrey Dahmer. He has a very creepy, subtle appearance in it. But the problem with this movie is it gets overshadowed by the side characters. The side characters have way more personality and stuff than him. And yeah, they kind of overlook Jeffrey Dahmer quite a bit in this. Also, I think this was made for TV or something because there's not very many kills in this. This is more him with his relationships and focuses more on that, which is kind of weird for this type of film. It kind of bogs it down quite a bit. And when you do see the minor violence that's in it, it doesn't do it justice, and you kind of just have to sit through all these things, and it kind of jumps back and forth, like time jumps a bit, but still, it's not very very cohesive, and it doesn't really work that well. Besides having a really good character actor like Jeremy Renner to play Dahmer, he's basically a side character in this, and then the acting in this is actually not too bad. Most of the actors are actually pretty good in this, and yeah, it's just the way the characters are written and the way the scenes are set up. It kind of just doesn't work, and it kind of doesn't fit. At least I thought. There's very small amounts of like visual and like practical effects in it, which are okay. The cinematography is not too bad. The music's really weird too. It doesn't really complement the film, or does it? It's actually pretty silent through most of it, and it kind of, I don't know if they try to do that for attention thing, but or a like attention building sort of thing, but it doesn't really work that well. And it was just a slow, dull movie. There wasn't really much to go on, and overall, there's tons of other better ones that depict Jeffrey Dahmer's story than this. And I think this is probably like one of the first ones, and before you could get very graphic and stuff, and that kind of dwindles. So, and it makes it a very dull movie. So I'm going to give Dahmer a 1.5 out of 5. I was not a huge fan of this at all. I thought it was pretty dull and pretty boring. So yeah, if you do want to check it out, I'm not sure where it's streaming or anything, so at least link the trailer down below so you could check that out. Also, link down below is my Instagram, so I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. Just put the film title in there and some fun fact or history thing in there as well. Also, my Letterbox down below, Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the films. And my Twitter's down below at reviews_Derek. So follow me on those platforms. Stay in with this channel. Like this video, share it so more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchises in any genre and any streaming service that yeah, I think I already said that, but yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully we find something weird, obscure, and all day probably never thought of checking out together. And also share your opinions on popular films. I've come out classic films and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell, because we're actually going to talk about like a horror creature feature in the next one, Wolfen. So make sure you tune in for that. Watch out for all those sadistic serial killers out there like Jeffrey Dahmer, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. Someone's bound to copy him. But yeah, till the next one, cheers.